But a lot of people, that's their story. Good times, Noodle Salad.
Yeah, this was it's 38 degrees in Michigan, which is a nice day in the wintertime. So we're you're trying to set it down so nicely so it doesn't go dum dum ba 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 dum ba.
It's gonna be tough to light.
It's 38 degrees. We're doing fucking cigars.
We don't even have an ashtray.
And we're doing the deck, son. Just ash on the deck.
All right.
What do you want here?
Hey, give me a pot. Give me a plant pot.
Here, you can. If I do that, it's gonna melt.
Oh,
It's gonna melt.
oh, it's got like a frozen. That's wild. Nah, forget it. I'll ash wherever. It's just ashes.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, getting these lit with matches out in the windy outside. By the way, the wind and the ambient noise of being outside is gonna be throughout the entire podcast, but that's fine. Just as long as everyone knows. It's too like we were gonna set up. We're set up at my house. We know lately we've been at the studio, but because of schedules and shit, we had to come here. So we're setting up outside, dude. It's nice out. We're setting out on the deck. The dog's wandering the backyard. He's all happy that we're outside.
I don't know if this is gonna stay lit.
You gotta.
This is so phallic. Everything about this is so phallic right now.
Yeah. Especially like the way that you're grabbing the back of your own head while you light it.
Maybe that's the trick.
Failure. I should get. Not that chewing on cigars is something I do all the time, but I should get one of those torches. These matches are terrible. Alright, I'm gonna double one up.
You gotta cup it. Gotta cup it while you put it in your mouth. Gotta cup the balls, dude. My mouth is salivating so much, I sucked it into the back of my throat almost. It's so wet. Yeah, I puffed on it real hard and went whoop. I was like, oh shit, dude.
You deep-throated yourself.
Almost pretty close.
Oh, it sounds like our whale relatives calling us. What is this? Okay, a Keweenaw Brewing Company Red Ridge. That's what I'm drinking. Handcrafted beer. South Range, Michigan.
I think we're good. That was a whole 5 minutes of me just sucking on a fucking brown.
Dude, the fact that you sucked it into the back of your throat.
It made me realize how I could not.
Glizzy.
I could not suck dick.
You could.
Well, just the tip.
All things
just the tip.
All things are possible through Christ.
I don't have a gag reflex.
Oh,
I have a gag. I have a gag reflex. I said that wrong.
You almost swallowed a cigar that's at least 3 times as long as your dick. Oh, man. This is the move, dude. Sitting outside on the back patio, smoking a cigar, drinking a fucking small batch beer. You're drinking long drinks.
I'm drinking some long drinks. Dude, I like that, dude. It tastes like Squirt. It tastes like Squirt. It's adult Squirt.
Yeah.
The drinkable kind.
I got to stop checking my heart rate. So I started a medication today. And
you did?
I heard that it causes elevated heart rates. So
okay.
I keep checking my heart rate just to out of some kind of anxiety about it. But my heart rate's actually been really good today. Like sometimes at work my heart rate's like 140 and steady.
Because you didn't eat 4,000 calories already.
Dude, yeah. What a difference already I feel. Like I don't like so I started a weight loss medication. And because you and I have both fought our weights going up and down for our entire lives.
Yeah.
Losing and gaining 100 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
when me and Paige first met, I was like 60 pounds lighter than I am right now, which is insane. I catfished the fuck out of her. Made her fall in love before I got fat again. But I just, like, for the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been trying to get back down to where I was before I hurt my knee, and I just can't do it. Like every time I start a diet, I fall off it. Something happens.
Yeah.
I go to the cabinet a few times a day just to, like, eat a little something again. And, like, when I was really honest about tracking my calories, when I did MyFitnessPal, the app, for tracking my calories and my macros, I was like, when I was really honest about what I was actually eating, I was like, holy shit, I'm eating like 3,500, 4,000 calories a day, sometimes more.
It's easy to do, man.
And
if you're especially eating packaged shit.
Especially with packaged shit.
Yeah, dude. Like one cookie's like 100 plus calories.
Yeah.
How easy is it to eat a whole like 2,000 calories worth of cookies?
Yeah. No
you know?
kidding.
I mean, you'll feel like shit.
I literally did, like 2 days ago, I bought Chips Ahoy, and I probably ate 20 of them in 2 days.
Right.
And I'm not even like, I don't know, I don't like binge like that often.
Yeah.
But it's just like the eating seconds and not feeling satiated and like going back to the fridge
that's the
to
weird
eat like
thing is
one more thing.
I don't have that problem. I never snack, but when I have a craving for something, I go all out in one day.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally do like a grocery order and it's like half of it's bakery items because I'm like, but I got to do this weekend. And then I'm not touching the shit again for 2 months.
This beer is so good. Red Ridge, Keweenaw. I'm not a beer guy.
Is it just beer? Is it just, what is it, an amber?
I don't, Keweenaw Brewing Company, Red Ridge Blood Orange Ale. American Blonde. Oh, I love blonde ale.
Yeah, it's like
a
a light
American Blonde infused
blood orange
with blood orange citrus.
Yeah, dude,
it's
orange
delicious.
beer in general is always
I've
good.
never had that. It's delicious. Keweenaw Brewing.
Before these like craft beers were popular, people used to mix orange juice with their beer all the time.
Yeah, I did that a few times.
It's
I used to
good.
do that because I had convinced myself I was allergic to beer because of how much I did not like the way it tasted when I was young.
Yeah,
When I was
it's
like
an acquired
18,
taste.
19, 20, I was like, I'm allergic to, I used to tell people I'm allergic to beer because I hated the way it tastes. I was like, there's no way people are drinking this and it tastes the way it tastes to me.
Right.
But with this with this weight loss medication, today I've had, like I was telling you, like we have these keto bagel thins.
Yeah.
And so they're like a half-inch thick.
Yeah.
2 slices of bread is like a half-inch thick.
Yeah, they're good.
And
I like
so
those. I get them sometimes.
I put an egg, 1 fried egg on it with a cheese triangle and a sweet pepper split in half.
Mm-hmm.
And I bit into it, and the bread tasted like shit to me.
Oh, you didn't like? Oh, yeah, you told me that earlier.
The bread tasted like shit to me.
I think they're fine. I don't have like that weird sensitivity to bread flavors.
It was the first time I ate, and it was like 6 hours after I woke up. So I took half the bread off and I ate the rest of the egg and the rest of the pepper, and I ate like maybe like 2/3 of the bread total, and I was like, and then I didn't eat for like 4 hours, and then we just got vegan food, which was delicious.
Oh, it was so good.
But me and Paige, we ordered.
We should shout out that place. What's the
Jack
name
and
of it?
Diane's.
Jack and Diane's. It's delicious.
Yeah, Jack and Diane's. It's great. So we got we stopped at Jack and Diane's, got some vegan food, and we got me and Paige got one sandwich and 1 cup of soup to split.
Yeah.
So I ate half a cup of cabbage soup and half a jackfruit sweet and spicy sandwich, and I'm like completely satiated. Like I was like a little bit hungry when we finished lunch, and it's what is it? It's 3:30. So I ate breakfast and lunch so far today. And I'm like totally the food noise is gone. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I did not think that it would be like this black and white. I would have eaten, without exaggeration, quadruple the amount of food I've eaten today by now on a regular day.
Yeah.
Quadruple. I mean, like I had one egg, 1 sweet pepper, 2/3 of a sandwich of that keto bread, and half a cup of soup, or half a cup of soup and half a sandwich.
Yeah.
And that's all I've had. And, it's 3:30, so I've been up for almost 12 hours.
Right.
And I'm like,
That's
fine.
good,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I feel totally different. I went to Dollar Tree. We're starting all of our vegetables for the summertime. And so I needed to go get a spray bottle for for the see how I work that fucker,
dude.
Work
It's
that
it's
thing.
not. It's like it's. I don't know if it's a. It just seems like it doesn't want to.
There's something about holding a giant cigar and not having like rings on your finger that feels phony. I feel like I need a ring that like
I know.
has a
Yeah,
lion's
yeah.
face or something.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna start wearing gaudy ass rings. Just
Oh man,
my smoking rings, dude.
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, when I was at the store earlier, shopping for a water bottle for my
I
seeds.
don't know. Yeah.
There was Mambos in the line. You know that fruity, chewy fucking candy that Christina used to buy all the time. When I
think so.
Mambos. They're
I don't know.
It's like a fucking multicolored pack. It's a sleeve of like 10 like fruit chews. Anyway, Christina used to buy them all the time. Like I would always buy something chocolate from Embassy Market when we were growing up, and
Yeah.
Christina would always buy Mambos. And I was looking at the pack of Mambos at the store when I was waiting in line. I was like, that looks fucking gross to me. Like that just looks nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dusty, like I know what's in there. It's like a chewy, like fake, just like glob of shit that's not real food and with no real substance to it. And I looked at it and my mind was just different. Like I just felt different about it when I looked at it. It's weird. Like immediately I feel different. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel that way about a lot of things. Like without being on this, I'm not on that medication, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you just start eating different, I mean, it's probably different for you because it's like a switch overnight. But I know, like, as I've started to eat a little better, like, just generally, and, like, once every month or two buy some snacks, you know,
Yeah.
instead of every grocery, you know, time, I definitely look at foods a lot differently. Because if I want a cookie, like, I have to have, it's it's never available to me. So if I've got this, like, urge, like, I've got to eat some sweets for some weird reason, which is crazy,
Yeah.
especially when you never eat them. But I do it. And it makes me feel like crap for like 3 days, and then I go, I'm never doing that. It's like drinking. It's like drinking. It's like, oh, I'm never gonna do that again. You know?
I'm curious to see how this all shakes out at the in a few months. Because like today, I feel hunger, but I don't feel the urge to eat at all. Like I just don't care about it.
Yeah.
And like when I was watching a Mike Israetel video, and he was talking about the palatability of food and how if you have a problem with feeling satiated, you should like reduce the palatability of the food that you're eating so that you want to eat less naturally.
Yeah.
And like I never thought about that, but man, when I make a good meal, I would like if I make something that's delicious, like some steak with rosemary and like asparagus and red skin potatoes, I'm gonna eat until I want to throw up because it's so good. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man,
Yeah,
I gotta
but
eat
see
more
now
steak.
that's weird to me too, though, because even though that's good and it's well prepared, those are all very filling things. And so, like, for you to not get satiated from those things with a normal portion.
I was just trying to think of a meal.
No,
in
I know.
general.
I'm saying, but if that is accurate at all,
Yeah.
that's weird to me because, like, a steak and some asparagus and potatoes, like, I would feel stuffed for like a day and a half.
We've gone.
I wouldn't eat till like lunch the next day.
We've gone to a steakhouse where you get
Yeah.
like I've gone to a steakhouse where you get like a salad and they got like their greasy buttery buns,
Right.
and like you got some peanuts and stuff before your meal comes out, and I've been full off of like the starters,
Yeah.
and then still like, all right, I'm gonna eat my steak and my mushrooms and my onions now too,
Yeah.
and my rice or
Right.
whatever, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking full, you know. But I don't know, man. I feel like this is the first time in my life I've actually felt different about food, where I'm like, I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care that the palate, you know, the flavors is that sandwich was delicious, and
Yeah.
I didn't need any more. I felt completely satiated by half a sandwich and half a cup of soup.
It was good. I mean, I had a whole sandwich,
Yeah.
but it was good. I mean,
Yeah.
like
it was a jackfruit with like some
dude, vegan food is actually really good.
Yeah, as
you
long as
know?
it's Whole Foods, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
got to
that's
be
the
Whole
thing.
Foods. Yeah, Queen people that like are like, oh, I only eat cheese pizza and I'm a vegan. It's like, dude, that kind of defeats the fucking purpose.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I love healthy food.
Yeah.
Even when I was younger, I kind of did. But I feel like it was not as readily available growing up because it wasn't as convenient, right? Like your parents aren't stocking up produce that's going to go bad in 2 days,
No.
right? When you're a kid, because it's not cost effective and it's impossible to do unless you're relatively, I don't want to say wealthy because that's not necessarily true, but like it has to be a priority, and it's not a priority with most people.
It wasn't a priority.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like mom, like, you know, after our parents divorced, mom was like, I made a meal. It's frozen. All you have to do is throw it in a pan, and like heat it up. You know, like that's how she would prepare food.
Which is good.
for us.
Actually, that's actually a really healthy way to eat. If you look at this is like really random.
Instead of eating fucking
not
microwave food all the time.
Well, yes, but not just that. Freezing your food and reheating it is actually somehow ridiculously better for you for some reason.
Better for you than eating the food.
Yeah.
Like if you just made it and ate
Well,
it.
specifically carbohydrates, they break down differently.
Oh,
They turn
I've
into
never heard that.
resistant starches if they freeze.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so if you buy a lot of bread, freeze it, dude. Freeze it and thaw it as you want to use it. It's actually a little bit healthier. Reduces blood sugar.
I wonder
spikes.
why.
I don't
wonder
know.
why.
But there's vegetables too, like broccoli. Broccoli, like I forgot what it is, but it's some sort of I don't know what they're called, but there's some kind of like it's probably not an antioxidant, but something in that realm that you know kills bad things in your body, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If you freeze broccoli, and I think it might be specific to like sprouted broccoli, like baby broccoli. I could be wrong. I don't know. But if you freeze it, thaw it, and then eat it, it has like 10 times the amount than just fresh cut, like bought from the produce. There's just certain foods that.
That was sorry.
What?
That was a VMAX. Dude, the VMAX is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's
I
cool,
know
man.
you don't give a shit about motorcycles, but I didn't
I didn't even know what a VMAX was. So when you said that, I just my
a
I was
Yamaha
just like, oh.
VMAX. Yamaha VMAX is a muscle cruiser. Like in the early 2000s, there was a lot of these bikes coming out that were like super powerful bikes that were like kind of ripping off Harley Davidson's style.
Right.
So the VMAX is like
So like they're powerful, but they look like
they
cruisers.
look good.
Yeah.
They look good, but they're still powerful.
They're like luxurious, but they're also
no,
meant
not
to-
luxurious. No, like the VMAX is just a fucking 150 horsepower muscle bike
Yeah.
that looks like a Sportster or something.
Okay.
Or maybe not a Sportster,
No,
but like a
Sportster is
Fat
kind
Boy.
of okay. I was
Like
gonna
a
say
Fat Boy or
Sportster.
something.
I know a little bit about bikes. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
No, but I wanted when I was looking at my FJR, I was like the other thing I was considering was a VMAX because the VMAX fucking rips, dude.
Yeah.
150 horsepower muscle bike. It's
Yeah.
cool as shit. And it's cheap. They're cheap because they're Jap bikes, you know. Instead of if you bought a
Right.
150 horsepower Harley Davidson, it costs you $35,000.
Right.
New anyway. But a fucking VMAX that'll cost you $5,000.
I mean,
And you have a bike that'll outperform most bikes.
Yeah. I think it's cool
I gotta
though.
get a bike again, man.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It's weird that you never had that itch. I fucking love motorcycles.
I don't know, because I was like into. I mean, I don't know. I never got into motocross or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I raced BMX. You think that like, I would get into motocross and then buy a Harley or something? I don't know. I don't. Maybe it probably ruined it that our dad got into a motorcycle accident when we were young,
Mm-hmm.
and like it, changed his life forever. So I don't know. That kind of rubs me. I'm not I'm not someone that necessarily makes my decisions based on issues other people have had normally.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can attest it. Only thing I can like compare it to is that whatever.
Me and Drake also grew up riding dirt bikes, and you didn't.
Mhm.
So that's a little disconnect there because they didn't have dirt bikes until I was like, I think they bought them in like 07.
All my free time growing up was dedicated to music. I mean, I don't want to say unfortunately because it was fun and I like it, but
Yeah.
I didn't develop any other hobbies because of that. I'm really good at guitar. I'm decent at piano. I'm good at writing music.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I did. I mean, I BMX'd. I skateboarded with you for a while. I never got really good at it, but I had fun doing
Me
it.
either.
Yeah, it's hard to get good at it. You got to be. It's like takes a certain amount of not giving a shit if you get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to be realistically. You should be super super thin doing it because you just bounce a little better. You know.
I think it's one of those things like, I think the people who excel at it are naturally the body type that works for it.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that's why all powerlifters are like kind of the guys built for powerlifting
Right,
already.
right.
You don't
Yeah.
ever see like a tall skinny
5'8",
guy.
Right, 5'8" and like
Fucking 230
300
pounds of
300
just, like,
pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I love skateboarding. I can't wait to get back to it. I can't wait for the summertime and be right back to it. Can't wait.
I mean, it doesn't interest me at all anymore in my adult life. I just think about broken. I'm like, I'm older. It's gonna be easier to break shit. I don't know.
The wind is literally pushing the camera around. That's hilarious.
Oh, it's gonna be bouncing around.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of dumb. It's not even that much surface area. What the hell is going on?
It'll be all right. It'll stabilize enough to like not look brutal. It's not like it's gonna look like a point of view camera on a fucking mountain biker.
You're right. It should be okay because you should have
I'm basically stationary, so it'll be all right. It'll be fine. But I don't know. I feel good. I feel good sitting outside. Fucking, we haven't got to sit outside and just enjoy outside for months.
I haven't at all.
Yeah, months.
I don't even know the last time I've been like. I haven't been outside at all this winter. Like I don't like being cold.
Yeah,
I hate it with a passion.
Dude, I was talking to a guy at work who's I brought him up because we were eating vegan food earlier.
Yeah,
and he was vegan forever, but he said something about brown fat. You develop this brown fat when you are
in
exposed to cold weather.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually thinking about that today.
And I looked it up, and because it sounds like bullshit.
No, that's real.
But I looked it up, and it's
helps him
adipose tissue.
Yeah.
And it helps your body like maintain its heat. And he said that like people in construction are normally have more brown fat, adipose tissue or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Than the average person, because the average person like goes from their climate controlled house to their climate car.
I think that's why you
climate controlled office.
I think that's why you like run hot. Honestly, you probably have a lot of it from working outside most of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually really good for you. It's actually supposed to be like, it actually helps like, it helps with metabolism, but specifically like if you are obese or gain weight or whatever, kind of reduces the effects of that surprisingly. Because there's like this documentary I watched and they were talking about how obesity, the thing about obesity and then what is it called? Morbidity or whatever. Is that the right word? Sounds right. Morbidity. I don't know. The thing about obesity and morbidity has nothing to do. It has to do with being too heavy for your build or what you're supposed to be. 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not so much the size as it is the availability of storage in your body. So if you have, and the way they described it was like if you run the bath water, right? There's going to be a point in which that bath water overflows, and then if you attribute that to fat cells, right? The more those grow and the more like you reach the point of limitation, right, the more health risks you can have. And it's different, drastically different per person, which is why you can have people who are 600 pounds and like borderline diabetic, and then a guy who's 200 pounds, right, and he's been diabetic, developed diabetes because he gained like 20 pounds.
Yeah, that is weird, man. Like they're like, I've seen people I know like develop diabetes, and I'm like, you're just like a little overweight. You're like skinny fat. Yeah. Like you're just like not a muscular guy, and then they're like, yeah, I got diabetes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's a lot of it is probably stuff like brown fat, muscle mass. I think all of that has to do with it, man.
I think I'm done with this.
Dude, I'm gonna
get too excited if I smoke this whole thing. I'm gonna be all fucking hyped up and be like, am I dying?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do the same. I'd rather hit my breeze because this kind of tastes like dog dick.
Yeah. It smells like Dad's breath.
It just doesn't go well. It doesn't pair well with my adult squirt.
Yeah.
If I had like whiskey, it'd be better.
Loud, but I'm putting it out. It's gonna go fucking flying, so I'm just gonna lay it right on the table. It's just gonna go fucking rolling from the wind.
But I mean, as a guy who's been overweight my entire life and have had the lowest I've ever weighed, and mind you, I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I'm probably a little shorter than I used to be. I used to be a little taller, I think. And
it's because you had orthopedic shoes.
No. That's funny though.
You gotta put on your fuck me shoes.
Yeah. Those, by the way, made things worse. I had a hip problem for a while. I had like a pulled tendon in my hip or some shit, and they required me to wear orthotics, and they were fucking trash.
Yeah.
They're
What were you gonna say though? You started off.
As someone who's been big my entire life, I have zero health problems. Like I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have sugar problems. I don't have anything. And I attribute it because I've always been super into weightlifting. Like 6 months out of every year since I've been probably 18, I've weightlifted.
Yeah.
And I think that's made a huge difference. Because when I weightlift till I hurt myself, and then I don't. right? Which I know it sounds like that sounds counterintuitive, like you shouldn't do that. And I don't mean to do that. It just ends up something.
It's
happens.
just kind of how it's happened.
It just happens, right? You get stronger, you get more arrogant, you get a little bit more confident, and then you get a little too crazy, and then you pull a hammy or something, right? But anyway, pretty much since I've been probably 18 years old, I've spent 6 months out of every year working out like a madman, and then when I don't, I gain a lot of weight, but I don't feel my weight as much as most people do. Like, I'm heavy right now. I mean, I had a few weeks off, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
whatever, And I feel fine, dude. I went to the gym and I felt fine. Like, the first day I went back to
Did you
the
do
gym.
cardio today?
Oh, I've been only doing cardio.
How's your cardio? Like,
Well,
what'd
the
you do?
first day was bad.
What did you do today? And
Today I did 40 minutes on incline, just
walking on a treadmill.
walking on a treadmill. Yeah.
What's like 4 miles an hour?
No, that's like a jog, dude. No, like probably like 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
2.8, 3.
Okay, so
something
you're
like
like kind of
speed.
quickly
Yeah, but like I'm
walking
talking
on
like
an incline.
I stay at like 5% incline, and I go up to 10 or 15%, and then I go back and forth.
Okay.
So it's hard. My heart
Yeah.
rate was up there. My heart rate was like 170, 180 the entire time. Well, until I dropped it back down. I'm doing, whenever I get back into cardio, I know I look like a fat fuck, but I do know a lot about working out. I'm actually really knowledgeable when it comes to working out for the most part. I'm just not healthy looking.
I just don't apply it.
I don't. No, I do, but I also have eaten like shit, and I don't have the greatest metabolism.
Yeah.
But I can put on muscle like a motherfucker. I know that. Last year, dude.
When we have worked out together, I am always surprised on how much more weight you can lift than I can.
Oh, dude, I can lift a lot of weight.
It's always surprised me.
Yeah, I was at Planet Fitness. This is last year, probably like fall of last year. Whenever I stopped, I just gave it up for a while.
Yeah.
I got tired of it. I was like, I'm gonna take a break. I just started getting back into it. But I was at the gym. I think the last I shoulder pressed was like, I want to say 365 shoulder press.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a power lifter amount for a shoulder press. In
a Smith machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, even in a Smith machine, that's a lot.
Yeah.
365 free weight would be fucking ridiculous.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to do that.
You wouldn't be able to do it.
No,
That's
probably
ridiculous.
315
Yeah.
at the time.
But even in a Smith machine, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly because of the balancing part makes it a lot harder. But there's a little bit more momentum too with free weights, so I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Free weights.
I kind of feel like I can bounce off my chest when I bench on a Smith.
Yeah.
I feel like I can kind of like get momentum.
No,
like
no,
I
no,
can't.
no.
With
There's
the
no
free
moment.
weights.
No, actually, on the contrary. Actually, most bodybuilders, I won't say most, a lot of bodybuilders prefer Smith machines because it reduces the bounce. There's no bounce. There's no momentum with a Smith machine. So while there's like 20 pounds, it's technically 20, 25, 30 pounds lighter than whatever you put on there.
Yeah.
But that counterbalance is what makes it dead weight. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just like, that's not true. You can do that more with free weights than you can do a Smith machine. Smith machines are very rigid, but the downfall.
I can definitely bench more on a Smith machine though.
That's just form. It probably, because Smith machines put you in a specific position, whereas when you have free weights, now you have to balance it. That's different.
Yeah.
That's really the reason most people can't lift heavier with free weights.
Is balance it the right way to say that? Or
Well,
is it like
there's
stabilizing.
Well, stabilizing muscles, same difference.
Yeah.
Balancing, stabilizing. It's the same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just picture like balancing. Like I'm not worried about this at all.
No.
But
Well,
like,
but in a micro level.
Yeah.
A stabilization.
you ever see those flexi barbells that like fucking?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's cool.
No.
I see guys work out with them, and it's like I watched a video. I think probably Juji Mufu. But I think I watched Juji Mufu like benching with one of those, and he's like, "Oh my god!" Like he had that with like kettlebells on straps going to.
I remember.
barbell.
I've seen that.
And he's like, "I can't even like this is like 130 pounds." And he's
Yeah.
like, and this guy and Juji Mufu's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
So for him to struggle with that just because of like how much it's moving is insane.
Yeah. Another weird. Well, that's way harder than this.
God, my mouth tastes like.
Yeah.
Like I had a buddy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My mouth just tastes like shit from that cigar.
It's not as difficult as that, but there's also a bar. I forgot what it's called, but it's a barbell that has it has enough room so that you can go much deeper with your bench. So it's kind of like
it's like notched around where your chest is.
It like pretty drastically. So you can come all as far back as till your shoulder blades touch, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I've used those before, and that's crazy how that feels.
Yeah.
That's scary. You get down there and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you're like,
probably feels good to stretch your chest out.
It does. It does. And you can do really lightweight and it hurts for a week.
Yeah.
Because it's just.
Well, it's all that connective tissue.
Yeah.
It doesn't get used in that way.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't really care about lifting and getting heavy weights.
I don't anymore because I'm already a big guy.
I want to work on mobility and functional fitness. You know, as I get older, I'm like, I don't care about throwing heavy shit. Like I remember when we were going to the gym every week together, when we lived close together.
Yeah.
I remember getting on the hack squat machine and just being like, let's do fucking 800 pounds today, you know? And I'm like doing 800 pounds on the hack squat, like breaking all the blood vessels in my shoulders from the pads.
I hate the hack squat.
I like the way it feels, but I don't care about that anymore. Now I just want to just do
I have impeccable
stretching and
I think it's because I have really good squat form.
Yeah.
So much so that people, every time I go and I do squats at the gym, even now I think a week ago I did legs, or 2 weeks ago I did legs because I was sick. So yeah, maybe a week ago because I was sick 2 weeks ago with bronchitis. And I went in and I just did legs because I was like, man, I've been laying around, right? Because I was sick. And I had some people go, dude, that's I've never seen someone squat like that. It's I keep my back completely straight most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I go my ass almost touches the floor, and I'm a big guy. I go all the way down, and we'll have to go someday because I want to show you the proper. I don't want to say it's not proper for everybody.
Well, I can definitely squat to the ground.
Yeah,
I don't have any issues with that.
But a lot of people don't. The biggest mistake most people make when they're squatting is not having a wide enough stance.
My limiting factor is my gut. My gut gets in the way sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, my gut will get in the way.
You're probably not your hips aren't wide enough. You know what I mean? You got to stand a little wider, probably.
I
your gut should just go in between your legs.
Yeah, but it's still a limiting factor.
That's weird. I never had that issue. And I got a bigger. Well, I don't know. Maybe a bigger gut. I definitely have a bigger gut than you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. My point is that I think that's the issue I have with hack squat is that because my form with squatting is so good, primarily to protect my hips and my lower back, I've learned how to squat properly. It's hard. It's not easy to learn. It's because it doesn't feel right the first couple 100 times you do it. Mm-hmm. But then you're like, but then you have no pain. You don't have the same, you have the pain in your, the healing pain, but you don't get oh, my back feels a little tweaked or my hips feel funky and it's hard to walk. You don't have that at all.
Yeah.
But that I think is the reason, because we had a hack squat at the job I was at. They had a hack squat in there, and I tried it a couple times. I'm like, this just feels terrible. This is not the good form. It's going to kill someone's back. At least for me, I didn't care for it. I tried it both ways, front and back, and I hated it.
I like the way
I can
it
never
feels.
do it. Yeah. No, a lot of people do. Actually, a lot of people prefer it. I think it's just how your anatomy's built. I have really wide hips, and that might be part of it. I need the super wide stance in order for it to feel right. Yeah. Not only that, but it has to be super linear. The movement has to be extremely linear for me. Otherwise, I'm just, I don't know. It's just how I have to lift. But I'm kind of like that with everything.
Yeah.
Everything has to have the exact motion every time. Otherwise, it doesn't feel right. Which is partly why I can lift as heavy as I can, is because I just understand my sweet spot when it comes to.
Hey, go away. Go.
The dog's eating ice under the table.
Yeah, it's loud as shit. Go. Go away. Hey, go. Go away. Enzo, go. Here. Want this? Go get it.
He's like, yeah, I want it. I'm going to bring it back to you.
Watch him come right back under the table and just. Could you hear him?
Yeah, I can
hear him chomping on
in the
ice.
headphones. But anyway, so what's new with you, man? Anything going on? Well, let's talk about other shit.
Yeah.
My ears are hurting already.
I don't understand why these headphones hurt your ears.
Headphones in general hurt my ears.
Your earlobes, like every time we've worn these, your earlobes are poking out the bottom.
That's because I had
but like my
stretched
ears, but my ears like fit completely inside.
Let me
the
take this
headphone.
beanie off. I'm getting hot too.
Yeah.
The sun's just cooking me.
Yeah.
In a good way. And all the.
Dude, yeah, me and Paige went and looked at a house.
That sounds better actually.
Me and Paige, weird.
It's weird when you put your whole gigantic ear into the muff.
Into the over the ear headphones.
Into the muff.
We went and looked at a house today. Man, I was excited about that house, and it was like, nah, we can't do it. We can't do it. We walked in. I don't want to give details of where it's at.
Right.
But
Why is it super expensive?
No, it was actually cheap. It was actually cheap.
Why not?
So we walk in. We walk into the house. It's a farmhouse in a pretty busy area.
Yeah.
You know, so it's an old house. It's from like 1830. But so it's got a river rock basement with a coal burning furnace. And it's got an updated furnace too. But
in the basement?
Yeah.
That's annoying.
The basement stairs are, I'm not joking, this wide.
Yeah,
18 inches wide. 2 feet, maybe 2 feet wide. And and they're so steep. They're steeper than a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
It's like a ladder. You walk down there, and when we walked down there, we were just like laughing because it's like so janky down there.
Yeah.
And while we were standing we went to an open house. While we were standing down there, someone broke a stair on the way down. So we were like, "Fuck, can we get out?" Someone broke through the step.
Is that how open houses work? It's just a bunch of people.
Yeah, we just went in and signed in and walked around the house.
I would hate that.
So we walk in, and it's a farmhouse with a wraparound porch. And I'm like, I fucking love this. We walk. Come on, dude, go.
You might want to put the dog in. He's getting bored. So it had a rock basement.
Go.
It had like a rock and cement basement.
So it had a river rock basement.
Yeah.
And then on the main floor, it's got a wraparound porch. That's a covered porch, and I'm like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
You know, and then you walk in, you're in there's like a foyer where the stairs are, and if you go, there's a small living room, a small office, a small master bedroom, and then a bathroom and a kitchen.
Yeah.
And then a formal dining room.
Yeah.
And then you go upstairs, and there's three bedrooms upstairs, and an open area upstairs too.
Yeah.
So. Oh, dude, you're okay. All right. Intermission. Enzo, come on.
Dog's got to go in.
Enzo, come on.
So many noises.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, yeah. Look at him. He's like,
Get in your bed.
He's like, all right, I guess. You have, by the way.
Paige jumped up.
I love your dog.
Paige
You have the
jumped up
coolest
like he was
dog.
In trouble. I'm like, he's not in trouble. It's just he was like walking in between all the cords.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, I'm just waiting for everything to just go tumbling because he's just a.
You not
idiot.
only have like one of the most pretty looking dogs I've ever seen, but like he's also just hilarious.
He's such a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he's so funny.
He's
my favorite. Honestly, I love dogs. I love animals in general, but I
Yeah.
specifically love dogs. But like, whenever you meet someone's dog, you're just like, I don't really,
whatever. You're just in the
you're like,
way.
yeah. Or sometimes you just don't like really care for the personality, but it's still a dog, so you still love it.
Yeah.
Your dog is like the ideal dog.
Yeah,
It's like annoying purposefully, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
He knows not to overstep
But
his bounds, but then he's also pushy. Like,
He doesn't
he's a little
overstep his boundaries.
Well,
Dude.
no. He does, but he's not like he's not insane.
No, he doesn't like. He's not. Like,
He's not destructive, yeah.
No, he, dude. With the table that we're sitting at, I had all my. We plant a garden every year, vegetable garden every year. I have I have a bunch of different size pots for the different steps before you actually transfer it to the outside garden.
Yeah.
I had all of those neatly stacked sitting on this table, and we're sitting eating our vegan lunch. And he comes trotting. He just goes from out of frame to in frame, trotting along with the pots in his mouth.
Yeah.
And I go outside. I'm like, come on, dude, give me those. So I get the pots and I put them back. And I say, no, bad
Yeah.
dog. And then I go back inside. And then he's on top of this table and he knocked all of the pots down.
Yeah.
So he's standing up on top of this fucking table. And the pots are just on the ground all over the place. I'm like, you
Yeah.
fucking ass. That was him like pouting. Because I took the pot away from him. He's like, oh, you're going to take the one pot away from me? I'm going to knock all of them down now and stand where they were supposed to be. He's a brat, dude.
Yeah.
He's a fucking brat. He's hilarious. He's a brat. And he does something I've never seen another dog do. He holds on to you with his paw pads.
Yeah.
Like when he puts his hands, it's not just like his arms are holding you. He grabs you with his paws.
Yeah.
Like his paws flex and squeeze.
That's my favorite thing about your dog is that like he hugs you back.
Yeah.
He does. He hugs you. He literally hugs you and he shakes your hand.
Yeah.
Like a man.
I made a mistake. So we taught when we got him. He was like a year old, and he was abandoned somewhere in Detroit, and we rescued him, and we got the sticker to prove it.
Oh,
but,
I didn't know any of that.
We rescued him.
That's cool.
So when we got him, he was fucking horrible, and I was like getting mad all the time because I didn't have any patience for it. With being busy with all my regular life shit. So Paige decided to sign him up for training. So she took him to training for like 6 weeks or something. And then he's also gotten older, so he's not acting like a puppy anymore.
Yeah.
But during the training, we taught him sit and stay, and he would never stay. He's a fucking husky.
Yeah.
He's a golden retriever husky mix is what we think we've figured out.
I could
which
see
is a
maybe,
Goberian, they call it. But So while we were training him sit and then stay and then like shake and speak, and like he doesn't speak and he doesn't stay anymore. But then I taught him like if I put my hands up in the air, that means hug. Mm-hmm. And so like he realized he can jump up and hug people, and now he doesn't stop doing it. Like he doesn't like he's like, oh, I could be face to face with this person, and it just like unlocked something in his mind, and I fucked up because now he doesn't stop. And then Paige's parents' came over and they brought their dog, and they have a little Chihuahua mix thing. It's a bug-eyed fucking just a disaster of science. just a sin.
Don't they watch this?
It's a sin of a dog. It shouldn't exist. It's fucked up that it exists. It can't breathe. It has to take water pills to for its heart. And it's like,
oh my god,
it like chokes and fucking it's bug-eyed. It's like
damn,
whatever.
dude. All right.
Anyway, so their dog came over, and their dog scratches at the window
So he looks like Ren from Ren and Stimpy.
Looks like Ren. Yeah, he does. He looks like a loaf of bread with 4 toothpicks in it, and like marbles for eyes. He's the dumbest looking thing. Paige is gonna be so mad when she listens to this episode. But anyway, their dog scratches at the door to let them know that he wants to come inside, and Enzo saw it and was like, oh. So now guess what he fucking does? Every single time he wants to come inside, it's just do. He's like, dude,
giant paws.
Yeah, right. At least with their dog,
he's got little dinky little.
He's got like little fucking stupid toothpick legs. So it's just like
Dog just shatters the door wall.
Right, and then Enzo's like, I'll do that too, and it's like a bear.
It's like a bear paw. Just douche. Oh man,
he's a fucking idiot. I love him, but he's such a moron. He's so needy too.
Yeah.
In the morning, on the weekends, in the morning, instead of like, cause I get up at, I'm leaving the house by 4:30 in the morning. So like on the weekend, he'll like realize that we're all still in bed, and he jumps up into the bed with me and Paige, and he lays across both of us, and he'll just like he'll just paw at whoever he wants to pet. And then when he gets bored of that person petting him, he'll start pawing the other person. We're like, come on, dude, it's 6 o'clock. And he's just like, fucking keep touching me. And if you don't, he'll like put his paw on your arm and then like squeeze and almost like claw at you. And he'll pull you, and you're like, all right. And you're like, yeah, he's a nightmare. I love him, but he's a fucking asshole. He's an asshole.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Paige's aunt listens to this, so I have to like not tell certain stories, but yeah, he's gotten in the way. I'll just say that. He's gotten in the way. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dogs will do that, man.
Yeah. The first like whatever. Dude, like the first month we had him, he started licking my ass cheek. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I had to like go put him in his cage.
He's just trying to help you out, man.
Yeah. I got harder.
Oh my god! Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh
no, it ruined it. I put him in the bed, and then I think we probably watched fucking Sons of Anarchy or something afterward.
Right.
Yeah. God, that dog. What a fucking mess. He's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
He used to get out every time. Like we have a 6-foot fence, and he jumps it.
That's crazy. He jumps that?
He jumps it.
How?
He gets momentum. He runs at it. He jumps, and then he just kind of like gallops off the wall and up and over it. It's
Holy
insane.
crap, dude.
Yeah. He jumps it.
That's insane.
And me and Jamie went around, and like if you really look for him, you'll see where we like nailed boards into the fence to fix it because the fence is fucked up on one side.
Yeah.
We have a brand new fence on one side and a fucked up fence on the other.
Right.
And so me and Jamie took a bunch of scrap wood and fixed a bunch of messed up spots so that he couldn't get out, and he was still getting out. We're like, what the fuck's going on? Then we found the top of the fence over here by the air conditioner was broken, and we're like, what? And then we're like, let him outside and we'll just wait. And I like just waited, and then you just see him like plop over the other side of the fence. Like, what the and he just looks at me like, oh, fuck. So yeah, go back inside. Get in the house. Get in your bed.
That's nuts.
But
That's crazy. It's hard to believe, but I guess I could see it because they do that. Like they'll hit the wall and then get that momentum.
just runs right up and over
yeah,
it. Runs up and over it. Yeah. But
that's crazy.
yeah, I was kind of, when we were getting ready to go look at that house, I was hoping that this was gonna be like a one and done. Like, dude, it has everything we want. It's 4-bedroom.
No,
it's got
I've
a barn.
I turned out a badass old house in Mom City.
Yeah.
That had the same kind of basement, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was like an old farmhouse. It had a giant pole barn in the back. Like it was really affordable because at that time houses were cheap.
Yeah, especially in that city.
In that city, especially, and it was a nice part of the city too. It wasn't the crappy area.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a couple areas that are questionable in that area, but it was in the nice part of the city too. And man, I
like the northeast side.
yeah, dude, it was so nice.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just can't. I can't. I don't want to deal with problems. I don't know what kind of problems.
Yeah,
I'm
you
want
want to minimize the
Right.
shit that you're gonna have
I
to
know
deal
if
with.
I know if I get a modern basement and there's problems, I know what the problems are going to be.
Yeah.
I get a cobblestone.
Yeah, it's like, what do I have
You
to
know?
do? I have to like fucking. They're like, oh, when we walked in today, they go, this is a horsehair plaster house. I go, I don't know what the fuck that means, dude.
Horsehair
that
plaster.
technology's dead, dude. Don't tell me things I
Wow.
can't fix.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Horsehair plaster house. That sounds.
The barn, dude. So we were hoping that, like, dude, it has a barn. I need a workshop. I love having a workshop.
Yeah.
I love building furniture and
Probably
shit.
had a workshop.
So I was like, it's got a barn. It's got a barn. Perfect. It's a 2-story barn. Fuck yeah. It's 4 bedrooms. It's got a basement. It's got an office. Blah blah blah. It's like checking all the boxes. The only thing it didn't have was a second bathroom. And I was like, dude, yes, the barn. We get there. We look at the barn. The barn is set up like 3 individual one car garages. You can't get to the next side without like walking out.
Could
And
you
then
put a door in?
Yeah, but like you would want it to be open. Instead, it's set up like
that's
3.
an easy feat
No.
to put a door in. Or a
I'm
walkway.
saying you have a barn that is 40 feet wide, and instead of having a 40-foot wide shop inside the barn, you have 3
so you would want to
10
take
by
down.
12.
You're talking about you'd want to take the walls out entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then upstairs is the workshop, so you have to walk up. If you want to do work, you have to walk everything
Who,
up.
by the way, who wants to work in a workshop that's
Upstairs. Where you got to carry everything up the stairs.
not even that? You know how hot it's going to be up there?
Well, it was 3 stories.
Right. Yeah, fuck that.
So the second floor would be fine.
You'd need AC.
As long as you got air moving, it'd be fine. It'd be all right.
Have you been in an attic before?
It's not an attic. The barn is 45 feet tall.
Yeah.
The second floor is 12 feet off the ground.
Right.
The third floor is, you know,
Oh, I
still
see.
8 feet
Oh,
below the ceiling.
the second floor
is where
the-
the workshop is.
Oh.
So it's
okay.
only like 12 maybe 15 feet
Yeah.
from the ground. So like I don't know. It was just set up stupid. It was just
Right.
set up dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really hoping. Like
I got no AC at my new place. I wonder how that's gonna pan out. I might
you
like
got
it
blackout
better.
curtains. It's fine.
I do. I have blackout, and I'm like I'm in a townhouse, so I'm sandwiched.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be okay. And really, light doesn't really hit my front window that much.
You'll be fine.
yeah.
You
the
just
way
keep your
it's-
blackout curtains closed all the time.
Yeah.
Don't open your windows until nighttime.
But I also don't like to be cold, so it might work out fine. You know.
yeah. In my old house, I lived in my old house for 10
like I'm
years.
trying to not like spend a ton of money on gas, because I'm kind of being a cheap bitch about stuff. But like
There's nothing wrong with being frugal.
yeah. But I mean, like I keep the heat at like 68, and it's way too cold. I wear literally
That's too cold?
Dude, I'll wear a hoodie and a blanket.
Yeah. It's fucking hot in your house, I think.
Yeah, I don't feel it. Matter of fact, on the way over, I was blasting my air at 90 degrees because I came from the gym and I was like burning hot, and then I hit the cold air and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And so I just blasted the heat at 90 degrees the entire. Actually, I didn't just come here. You know, I did some running around and then I stopped here, right? But I like to be warm, dude. I don't know. It's probably just from working in hot
we
shops
also said, yeah,
life.
I mean, that circles back to what we were talking about with, like me working outside and the brown fat. Hard cider. Soil Friends Hard Cider Co. It's a Michigan company. Farm Fresh Hard Cider. Strawberry Rhubarb.
Where's this from? Is this Michigan or no? Oh, no, this is from Finland.
It says the Finnish drink.
It says Finnish, but
handcrafted for friends.
Oh, maybe it's just a Finnish drink. Doesn't mean it's from Finland.
We should try to get.
No, this is distributed.
We should try to get breweries to send us beer for the podcast.
In North Carolina, it looks like.
Strawberry Rhubarb Hard Cider from Soil Friends.
Long drink. The Finnish long drink. Actually, that's really good, dude. I know you don't like these, but I'm a fan.
It's sour. Oh, this is gonna be so loud. Whatever. We're outside. There's dogs barking.
Is
There's
it a beer?
motorcycles going
Oh,
by.
dude, I can't do it. I'll get heartburn instantly.
Just try it. Just get a sip of it. It's sour.
No, not at all.
No? You don't like it? Push it.
No,
you don't like it?
No, it's
sour.
It's not bad. It's just not my taste.
Fermented apple juice, strawberry rhubarb juice, potassium metasulfite, and sorbate for freshness. It's sour.
Fermented apple juice, that's cool, though. It's cool that that's in there. I like that.
That's all the ingredients.
Yeah, I like that. So it's like it's almost like a kombucha, but just without the kombucha bacteria.
It's almost like something that's entirely different and with less ingredients.
Well, it's fermented. It's cool to have a real fermented.
So is sauerkraut. You're like, oh, dude, that's like sauerkraut, but strawberry.
Sauerkraut rhubarb pie, dude. Sauerkraut and strawberry pie.
Fucking schnitzel and sauerkraut fermented beer. That is so sour.
Sauerkraut beer.
Like it. Paige would like this. She likes sours. I don't really
hate sour. I hate sour anything. I like sour candy.
That's pretty mild though.
I like sour candy. I don't like sour.
You don't like sour beers?
Alcohol. No. I actually got really sick.
That one's pretty mild.
I was at I want to say maybe Dooley's back in the day or something.
Before someone got murdered there?
Yeah. One of those bars where they have like a ton of craft beers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just trying all their different beers, and then I was like, they're like, oh, we have this whatever mango pineapple IPA or something. I was like, oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I took a sip, and it tasted like, I don't want to get too graphic, but I'm going to get graphic. Have you ever had...
Schmegma in your mouth?
No. No, that's not as bad as this. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is. After deep throating that cigar, I don't know.
You don't know what schmegma is?
No, I know what it is. That's why I said what I said. I was being stupid. No, it doesn't taste that bad. I'm just kidding.
Doesn't taste that good.
Never mind. It's so gross. So
I can't drink this now that we're talking about schmegma.
So this beer that I tried, it reminded me of drinking all night and then waking up the next morning and getting sick. Like, you know that really sour, acidic throw up taste? It tasted just like throw up the next day.
Yeah.
Just like it. And I was like, people like this?
Yeah.
I was super grossed out by it.
Well, that's not going to get drank now.
No, I'm sorry.
Now that you got that throw up flavor in my mind, I'm not going to drink that.
Like sour. This, I wouldn't mind throwing up. Like I could that is not going to taste bad coming back out.
What a qualifying feature. Dude, I need my drink of choice to taste good twice. Okay? I need to be able to
If it doesn't taste as good coming out as it does going in, I don't want it.
Man. Dude, I never throw up.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't, even if I'm sick as a dog, I'm like, I'm not throwing up.
I
would rather be
do.
sick. I'd rather be sick longer than throw up.
I did it after eating Mediterranean food the other night, though, which is weird.
And
I threw up like a
when me
quarter pound
when me
of
and
tabbouleh.
Paige first started dating, she got me blackout drunk. I mean, we did this like Thunderstruck. You ever did the Thunderstruck drinking game?
No, I don't know what that is.
You know the song Thunderstruck?
Yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Thunder.
What, do you take a shot every time it says thunder and then you die?
No, in a circle of
Yeah.
whoever's at the party. Every time they say thunder, someone has to drink until they say thunder again. Then you can stop drinking and the next person has to start.
Okay.
There's one spot in the song where it doesn't say anything else for like 30 seconds.
Right, yeah.
There's only one spot where they don't say thunder for a while, and it's like a guitar solo or something.
I mean, that is pretty fun.
And I got stuck on that part. So I drank like the rest of my beer, then someone gave me another beer, and then someone gave me like a high noon, and it was just like, and the lights are out, and Matt is unconscious.
Oh my God.
But awake. I was so
Yeah.
Dude, there's a video of Paige like dancing on me like playfully, and I'm passed out with my eyes open. I'm unconscious with my eyes open, like Weekend at Bernie's. You looked right at the sun.
I was like,
You looked right at the sun.
oh, that's going to leave.
I was unconscious with my eyes open, and there's a picture of Paige dancing on me while I'm literally passed out with my eyes open, drunk.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I pop awake, and I'm in a bed. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm in someone's bed. So I pop awake, and Paige goes, "Are you gonna throw up right now?" And I was like, "I think I am." And she just hands me she pulls a bag out of a garbage can that was in the bedroom and gives it to me. And it's just like, blah, 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 blah. I screamed throw up out of my mouth. I might even said mom when I was done. I might have gone, Mom! there was like a gallon of throw up.
Oh, man.
Dude. And then so for like 6 months after that day, I heard stories about that night of things that I did that I had no idea I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that morning I put on my pants. I'm like, why are my pants sopping wet? Did I piss myself or what?
Yeah.
And she's like, you don't remember starting a snowball fight with everybody? And I was like, no. And she's like, Matt, you were literally running around with a shovel, throwing shovels full of snow on people.
That's awesome.
I was like, it's fucking hilarious.
God, at least you're a good guy when you're blackout drunk.
Dude,
you know?
and she was like, she's like, Haley tried to stop you and you like fucking tackled her because like you wouldn't stop. So you guys both ate shit into the snow like so hard. I was like, that's awesome. Oh man,
that's super
there was
fun.
like, and then I had like videos that I had taken, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this.
Wow.
I was gone, dude.
I don't get that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get to that point. Even I can be blackout drunk, and there's something in my brain that like switches on, and it goes, dude, you better, like, my fight or flight kicks in so hard that I just get sober right away. It's weird, dude. It's weird.
God, that is the Keweenaw one is so much better.
No, I
than
can't
sour
smoke weed and drink. That'll fucking ruin me for a day and a half.
Really?
Oh, I'll be out of my mind for a day and a half. Yeah, weed, dude. I'm super sensitive to weed the older I've got.
Yeah.
I just did a Focal Point podcast, and I vaguely talked about that because he made a joke about like, he's like, what motivates you or gets you in the flow when you're writing music? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, drugs. And I was like, I just laughed. I was like, I wish.
Yeah.
I was like, I just can't do it. I can't do nothing anymore.
Yeah.
I have like a couple of drinks here and there. And like, even this is probably like, I don't want to say it's too much, but like definitely I'm like, kind of like,
More
you know,
than normal.
The dog's sitting at the French door or the door wall. Oh, look at him. He's just eyeballing the shit out of you.
He's so handsome.
He's a pretty boy, man.
Go beer. I don't
know if that's
he's
gay.
a black and
That's not gay to say it about a dog, right?
as long as you don't
Suck his dick.
suck his dick. We think he's a Goberian. So he's black and he's black.
gorgeous
He's
dog.
black, brown, and a little bit of white.
Yeah.
He's got one brown eye and one blue eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the cutest.
Got
Fuck.
2 brown eyes.
That one's actually bright pink, dude. He's a clean boy. He wipes good. He's a clean boy.
Wipes with the same thing he kisses you with.
Yeah, he does. He's like, hold on. Let me get some flavor on here, Dad.
Oh.
He's a good boy.
But yeah, I was I basically we're changing the subject now. Yeah, on that I said it on his his podcast. I was like, yeah, you know, I just can't do it. I can't. It would not spark any creativity in me. I promise you that. I'm way more creative sober than I am even having
Dude,
a couple drinks in me.
Before COVID, I was smoking weed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I never really did because it used to give me really bad panic attacks. But then I realized at like 25 years old that you don't have to smoke all of the weed that you have.
Yeah, you could just take a hit and be chill out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I realized that at like 25 years old that I could just take a hit and be chill. Watch fucking grumpy old men on VHS in my garage while I worked on some project.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would do. But man, when I would get like high, I would eat until I threw up. I got munchies like big time. That was like when the fat assery in me like really went overboard.
See, I never got that way with weed.
Ate until I threw up one time.
That's crazy. See, I don't have that
Just
problem.
like jalapeno Cheetos, and fucking Girl Scout cookies, and like whatever garbage I had.
Yeah, I never would get the munchies from weed. Never have.
Yeah.
Never have. I don't know. That's weird. I'm trying to think back to a time where maybe it did, but I can't. I don't think it ever affected me like that.
What I miss is mushrooms. I fucking love.
Oh, I love mushrooms.
I love doing mushrooms.
Mushrooms have a bad rap, dude. Honestly, in my opinion, it's safer than weed.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go. You're not gonna go drive on it, right? You shouldn't operate machinery with it. You probably shouldn't be around like kids with it, right? Because you're gonna be a little loopy and a little weird and a lot out of your mind. But like, I think it's safer in the sense that like it's one of those things where you do and you're done, right?
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
And it's so introspective and creative, and you just love the beauty of life.
Yeah.
And it's not because you're just filled with all these, serotonin or whatever. It's not just that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, but it's just
but things just look prettier.
Well, you start to recognize these like fractal patterns.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, man, like just this tree existing is fucking amazing.
Right.
Dude, one time I did mushrooms. I sat in my backyard and I listened to Shop Class's Soulcraft, I think the name of the book is. He talks about like how in the book he talks about how he had like some career that he didn't really care about, but then he opened up like a motorcycle shop. And he just like he followed his passion for a career instead of like being a fucking marketing major or whatever. And something along those lines. But I just remember being like sitting there being like so overwhelmed by emotion and gratitude, just being like, man, I fucking love I get to build shit for a living because I love building shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, I'm listening to this book and he's describing perfectly like what it means to be a maker.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching these patterns of wind blowing through the oak tree leaves, and it's just like bow, bow. It's like fireworks.
Yeah.
But just like these fractals that are appearing in the leaves.
Yeah.
And the pattern is appearing over and over again, but it's in different spots every time.
Yeah.
It's like fucking whatever, Whack the Weasel or whatever that game was, but it's like with these patterns blowing in the leaves.
I feel like it's weird. It's
man.
weird because I feel like, not to sound super corny or hippie-ish about this, because I don't feel this way strongly, but it feels to me like everything speaks to you a little bit, and it's weird. It's a weird feeling because everything kind of is communicating with you, not with words. It's not like you're having a schizophrenic event.
Do you remember when we were supposed to do them together and things like it didn't work out?
Yeah, I don't remember why. I think it's because I told a buddy of mine that it was my first time like really dosing.
Yeah.
And which honestly I would have rather not have done it that way, because we ended up like going to a house party and it just ruined my entire night until we went to the bar.
Yeah, you told me that you felt paranoid the entire time.
Well, because it was like literally a house full of people that do even to this day barely like me. They don't like me. Like I'm too honest and like whatever. I'm just a certain type of person, and you're either gonna like me or hate me.
Yeah.
Not hate me like an enemy, but hate me because you don't want to be around me because I'm gonna say some shit, right? So but yeah, they didn't like me. I don't know, whatever. And so I felt those vibes as soon as I walked through the door, and I'm like, oh, are we here?
Yeah.
Dude?
So my night was different than yours.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do them together, and then we just did like divvied it up, and then like you left, and I went home. And I was like, I'm doing them. Like, this is my plans for the night.
Right.
So I text you, and I was like, what am I supposed to do here? And you're like, I don't know. I've heard that like take like 2 caps and 2 stems, and like just start there and see how you feel.
Yeah.
And I ate 2 caps and 2 stems. You know what I did? I put it in my fucking coffee grinder.
Yeah.
Blended it into chocolate milk and then chugged it. It was like perfect. I didn't taste any of it. But anyway, so that's what I did. 2 caps, 2 stems. I ate it, and I was like, like an hour later, I'm like, my back muscles feel good when I stretch them, but like nothing else is happening.
Yeah.
So I did the rest of the bag.
Yeah.
And it was a Ziploc sandwich bag that like the bottom inch was filled.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot. I did the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I went and laid down, and I was like waiting for something to happen.
We probably did as much as we did about the same amount then, because we got the same amount.
I went and laid down.
Yeah.
And I was laying on my stomach with my head hanging off the bed.
Yeah.
And it was dark in the room, and if I was trying to not close my eyes, because every time I closed my eyes, I would see a different Mayan warrior mask.
Oh shit.
Like staring at me, like fucking like intimidating me with like makeup and like feathers and shit and like hatchets.
Trippy.
And I was like, oh
that.
shit.
Are you kidding me?
So I'd keep my eyes open. I'd stare at the wood floor, and then I'd close my eyes again, and it'd be another one. And I'm like, fuck.
Someone was, dude.
But I ate
some ancestors were pissed at you for something,
dude. And then I was like, it gave me bubble guts, fucking big time.
That's one thing.
And
that's
so
why
I went,
don't do them.
and I went.
Yeah.
So I went to the bathroom, and in my old house, my toilet faced the shower.
Yeah.
And the shower curtain was this like geometric pattern.
Yeah.
And so like as I'm like sitting there like just shotgunning my toilet, the fucking the all the patterns on the shower curtain are going like boom 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 like giant like it was like giant
like
metallic gears
yeah,
like
yeah.
jamming like free and then getting locked up again and then
Yeah.
just boom boom and it
Yeah.
felt like dangerous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I had shit like 4 times in like the matter of an hour. So my ass is all raw, and I'm like, I'm high as fuck. My ass is raw, and my ex is fucking with me because she knew what I did. So she shut every light off in the house to like be funny. And I'm like, motherfucker, you know. So I like go out in the hallway, and she's like, yeah, motherfucker. And I'm like, fall on the ground because it like scared me to my cells, you know. But the problem with going to the bathroom all that much is that you got to fucking wash your hands when you're done, and you're not. I didn't know this, but you're supposed to avoid mirrors when you're on mushrooms. And so like one of the times I'm washing my hands, and I just look up and I lock eyes with myself, and I did a hero dose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did a fucking hero dose
Yeah.
of mushrooms. I look at myself and I'm like, oh, and I get stuck. And I I angle my head down, and I see this old version of myself that's like angry and fucking mean. And then I look up and I see the youthful version of myself. And like my face is morphing from old to young to old to young. And I sobbed in the mirror for like an hour and a half. Just like cried so hard. It was like one of those like
Oh my god.
and I finally got myself away from the mirror, and I went and laid down in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And I laid on my side, and I stared at the wall, and then just everything was like red, green, blue. Just like you're right up against an LCD TV.
Yeah.
You know? The wall was just going red, green, blue. All these pixels just kind of floating down and across the wall, and I passed out. And I woke up this morning, and I felt so much grief for like the things that I had done. It was like what do they call that? Like it was like a repentance or something. It was like I was faced with all the things I had become as a angry 25-year-old man or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like, look, motherfucker, this
Dude,
is what you're
that's what I
supposed to
love
be.
about them is it's so healing, dude.
Yeah, and I went to school.
They're so healing.
I had school within a couple of days, and I went to school, and my fucking classmate Josh, who's always giving me shit for being an asshole, he goes, dude, you got to do those more. Like, you're so much nicer today. You're normally a cunt.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You know, but he's like, you're so much nicer today.
Yeah.
You're just like happy to be here. You're like glad everyone's doing okay. Everyone's kids are happy.
Yeah.
And you're just like enjoying it instead of you being an asshole like you normally are.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. So the next time I did them, I did a little bit a couple times. Like I did I did like a 2 caps and 2 stems.
Couple microdosing.
Not microdosing,
Okay.
a little high, you know. So I did like
Okay.
2 caps, 2 stems, and like sat in my backyard and like I said, watched all the patterns and.
Yeah.
But then I went on vacation we went to the Bavarian Inn in Frankenmuth.
Oof.
And so at the Bavarian Inn is this German themed fucking like Frankenmuth is like this German themed vacation town in mid Michigan. And there's a bunch of pools. I mean, there's like 7 or 8 pools inside the resort.
Yeah.
And near one of the pools where I was hanging out, there's this glass case.
Mm-hmm.
And inside the glass case are these marble statues of war scenes, like Civil War scenes. So there's like warriors, like soldiers stabbing each other with bayonets and stuff. Or
Right.
whatever. And I did mushrooms while I was on vacation. I like walked over to the glass case and I just got stuck. I was just like, wow. Just like, and nothing was moving, like nothing seemed real.
Yeah.
But like looking at that, I'm like, oh my, like someone lived that moment.
Right.
That's
right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like my life is not even remotely
That's
like
what I
that.
mean, man. You gotta.
And I
it's
just like felt this gratitude that my life has
Yeah.
never been that dire.
Yeah.
And I was staring at it, and then my ex is like, Matthew, and then I was like, oh fuck, okay, all right, I'm back. Let's go to the fucking arcade.
Real quick.
You know.
That voice would sober me up real quick, for sure.
It's just fucking like nails on a chalkboard.
Anyway, yeah, dude, I like it. I like it a lot. It's a nice way to tune in, man. Like you tune into nature, you tune into reality. People think like if it's a drug, it just takes you out of reality, and not all drugs do. Like if anything, I think mushrooms or psilocybin in general, I think it's really healthy to do as I think its therapeutic uses make sense to me after I microdosed. I had some time off. I think it was before I moved to Florida. So I had like a few months off, right? And I think I microdosed a lot of that time. Like just not, and I wasn't like fucked up, but like just cause I wanted to reclaim myself and kind of get back to like just feeling alive again, you know? Cause like between jobs and relationships, I'm like, I was like giving up. I was just like, I almost don't care what happens in my life anymore. And so like I microdosed and it really changed my outlook on things. And I would go to like nature walks. I go on bike rides, but then like I did that heroic dose, and it's the last time I did them was that night. I didn't want to keep doing them. I was just like, that was enough for me to reflect on and go and remember, you know, kind of just remember like what it meant to me. You know, I don't want to keep doing it and then kind of wash away that learning experience. But
you were in the wrong setting though. You called me the next day and you were like, dude, I just fucking worried about my car being broken into the whole time.
Right.
Just like people were like near my car, and it just made me feel paranoid as fuck.
It did for a little while. Then when we that's actually a weird night. So we started at that place, whatever. And actually, the amount I took, my buddy who's like did them, you know, is a connoisseur of, you know, mind altering substances, you know, at the time.
Yeah.
And the amount I took, he was like, "No, dude," and he's like, "Really?" He's like, "You're gonna be fucked." And I was like, "Well, I've been microdosing a little bit, so I should be all right." And I was okay. I mean, I was definitely in crazy land. Like his face turned yellow like butter. Like it was weird, dude. It was weird, dude. I didn't tell him. I was like, you know what's weird too is you know that's not even, it's funny, but that's not the scary part about that though. It wasn't.
You're like, I got hard when it happened. I got fucking rock hard.
No. Like his face turned yellow, like it was covered in butter, and then like
that's so funny.
But the weird thing is deep down, something in me was like, this person is not a good person, which is a really weird feeling. Yeah,
I had that. I had a couple of moments like
and,
that.
And I was like, and I kept thinking to myself, why though? Like he's all right, and he's not a bad person, but just not. Him and his significant other aren't good people because they don't cherish the people that are around them. They're not users by any sense of the imagination. They're kind of like, you ever see the movie Dinner for Schmucks?
Yeah.
They're like those people. They're like pretentious, falsely pretentious, but then they also talk mad shit. Not like you and I talking shit.
I mean, why are you softening it up? It sounds like they're not good people.
Right. Well, I'm just saying I don't know that they're physically doing things that are bad,
destructive.
I just think
that is destructive though, because
it is.
to be someone that like gossips, to engage in gossip is just, I mean,
manipulative,
as we're doing it, but you know, but like to be
but this is healthy. I'm talking an unhealthy amount of it, where you're
like manipulating social outcomes.
Like they play both
lying.
sides of the coin with every social group, to the point where they were starting fights and starting problems, and honestly started problems in relationships I had.
Yeah,
like,
we have family members that do. We have family members that we had issues with that too. You know,
yeah.
Where like,
luckily that shit has calmed down.
Yeah, thank God.
But I even
like,
got sucked into it. Being around those people, you start getting sucked into that lifestyle, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel good. Like I remember, I remember.
I just pretty much told everybody from that group to get fucked one day.
That's okay.
And
not
literally, and then I apologized for being so rude about it, but I was just like,
not every. See, this is a weird thing about life is that like, that's such a generic thing to say. A weird thing about growing up is what I should say, is that you think that as you get older, you're gonna make friends, and then those friends are gonna be permanent, and then like you settle into your permanent friend group. And like as I've gotten older, I've gone through.
I'll be honest, dude.
I've gone through like 6 waves of friend groups where I'm like,
I'll be honest.
these friend groups were not a good fit for me.
I'm a super good dude, in a lot of ways. I have my faults and I have my mental issues sometimes.
Everyone does.
But everyone does. But I've never gone out of my way to hurt people.
Yeah.
I've said things that were hurtful, but they were honest things. It's a big difference. I really felt that way. You know what I mean? I've never gone out of my way to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had too many acquaintances over the years that saw no consequence in it was almost like a thrill for them to play with people's emotions, and they're people that are, by the way, these are people from a bar. So all their friends and acquaintances are broken people to begin with, and they toyed with them like they were just because they were intelligent people.
There's
too.
healthy people that go to bars, but these people live there. They have
no, not even that. It wasn't because they lived there. They just were They were. I don't want to get into specifics because
no, I know,
right.
but I need to you got to put a caveat out there.
Oh,
like, you can go to a bar and be a healthy person.
They worked at this particular place, and they're not bad people entirely. They're good people with good intentions, but their level of brokenness caused more shit than anyone knew. And they're highly intelligent people.
Yeah.
The problem with being someone that hangs out in a dive bar, right, and you become a regular, and if you're a highly intelligent person, you have 2 roads. You're either going to be hated or you're going to be manipulative. Those are the only 2 options you have. In a place like that, that's the only 2 options you have. I was the hated one.
You're going to be hated or highly manipulative if you're intelligent.
Yeah.
Why do you have to be hated or manipulative?
Because you're hated because you're spending a lot of time defending things you're saying or conversations you're having, because when you're an intelligent person, things come off offensive even though you have good intentions, because you're saying the whole truth. And these are broken people that aren't used to that, right? And they're also pretty broken people. Like, they're good looking, never had a problem getting laid, right? They just make poor choices and have had shitty lives. Okay. Yeah. So when you couple that with an intelligent person that can just talk them right off the cliff every time, or right onto the edge of the cliff, you start to look like a bad person. And then the flip side of that is when you're and it sounds like that's not manipulation. That's just like if you're being honest, right? And they're not used to honesty. They're used to yes men because like someone wants to fuck them, right? I'm not that way. I don't care how pretty you are. Like, I'm not gonna be sweet to you if you don't deserve it, and I'm not gonna be mean, but I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm an overly honest person. To a fault in a lot of ways, and
yeah, but you're framing this like intelligence causes it, but maybe being brutally honest is what's causing it.
No, I'm not brutally honest. It's not like that. It's not like I definitely wouldn't say things that I felt like would hurt people. But people know how my intelligence level and feel like I'm saying read between the lines every time I say something. It's not true. I don't think that deeply in casual conversation.
Whenever I talk to other people about, like, not that it's a topic that comes up all the time, but whenever I talk about that place with other people, I always compare. I'm like, it's like the world's most boring version of Game of Thrones.
It is.
It's like a bunch of people that like barely make enough money to pay their rent, and they're all fucking playing this weird Game of Thrones game where they're like, I want to try to fuck that chick, so let me play these games there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then everyone else is like, all the other guys are like, I also want to fuck that chick because that's the new chick, and let me play these games.
Right,
and then it's like, you're not on the side of truth. You're not on the side of justice. You're not on the side of like what's the Christian thing to do. You're on the side of what's gonna make that chick lean my way.
Yeah.
And that's bitch shit.
And I have a really high moral standard, so that bugged people too, because no one there did.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you saw how that played out when you were dating one of the girls there, and then all the guys like were like, "Yeah, I know he is a problem," and I'm like, "Oh, you're a bunch of fucking
That happened.
you're a bunch of femboys."
I'm not proud to say it, but that happened a few times.
Yeah, you're a bunch of fucking.
That happened a few
You're
times.
a bunch of fake femboys. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like that's the kind of guy that's like, "Oh, tell me what an asshole is. I'll be your shoulder to cry
Yeah,
on."
the white
Come here."
knights.
Yeah, the white
Yeah.
knights, exactly. The dudes that hung out. Dude, 20 years ago when Royal Oak was what it was, a hub for art and fucking,
Yeah.
alternative cultures. That's all the dudes that hung out down there.
Right.
All those guys with the fucking skinny black jeans on, the eyeliner on. They're
Right.
like, dude, let me bang my buddy's girl because he's.
I didn't know
he
Royal Oak
is-
was like. I never
he
hung out in
is
Royal
such a
Oak.
jerk.
I used to work with someone that lives there, and he's like, "Dude, you got to hang out down there. It's so much better now. It's so awesome. It's like everybody's got money."
Now,
Yeah, apparently now it's cool.
now it's it's phony. It's like it's a.
He likes it.
There's
I
no
don't know.
culture down there anymore.
I don't know. He says
There's
he
no
says
culture
otherwise.
anymore. It's like a fucking B-dubs and there's
Yeah.
B-dubs and like
No, there's a lot of cool
Johnny
little-
Blacks. It's like
there's a couple of those, but there's a lot of cool little like cultural places for sure. There's
I
still
don't know.
cultural
I think,
food down there.
I think the actual artists got pushed down to Hazel Park and Oak Park.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Because all the money came into Royal Oak, and
Yeah.
now a fucking shitty bungalow
Yeah, but
costs $400,000.
I'll be honest. I'd rather. I mean, if you're talking, I have better conversations with people that are well off in life.
Sure,
But
but money pushed out art, and that's the problem.
I don't know that it. Not necessarily.
No, it absolutely did.
You think it did?
Yeah, absolutely. The artist made Royal Oak what it is, and then gentrification came in and was like, let's build this like 10-story high rise and charge $2,000 a month for a one.
Oh, I was always like that though.
No, it got much worse.
Oh, it's worse now, but
Much
they've definitely
worse.
it's been.
There's
that for a-
fucking
dude. The lofts in Royal Oak were like millions of dollars back.
yeah. I mean, there's
you know?
baseball players living there.
Yeah.
One of the maintenance guys that worked for me down there worked at the building like 4 buildings down from my building,
Yeah.
and was like, oh yeah, fucking whatever. This tiger lived there, and this red wing lived there, and whatever. But then you walk those neighborhoods where they're similar to my neighborhood. They're like 1,200 square foot houses, 1,800 square foot houses like mine, but like with basements or whatever. And they're tearing them down and building houses that take up everything but like a 1 foot square of grass. It's insane. So
Right.
I used to, when I worked down there, I would go for walks on my lunch break and I'd walk through the neighborhoods. I'm like, holy shit, this house is a fucking 4,000 square foot house on a 4,000 square foot lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
there's a lot of areas like that.
It's so dumb. And they're building these shipping container houses, which is like, this is just a house with extra steps. You guys are morons.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh man, we should wrap up though. I'm fucking freezing.
Are you?
Yeah, aren't you?
No, the sun's cooking me nice.
Oh, I'm like my whole front is in the shade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we don't have to wrap up.
Yeah,
But
let's do a
it's-
little bit longer. What time is it?
Yeah, it's 4:40. I don't know.
Let's
what time,
do like
I
let's
don't
do
know what
another
time
20
we got-
minutes.
How
Let's do
much
another
time
20
do we got on the Zoom? I didn't.
I don't know. I can't.
We've done. Oh, we've done an hour 20.
Yeah, we can do a little longer.
Yeah, we can do a little longer.
So like
I'll
I want
survive.
to just throw this out there and not and we don't have to go into depth about it, but you know, I have other things going on too and I kind of want to talk a little bit about it.
Mhm.
So like obviously everybody knows like I make music and that's kind of been my little hobby and whatever. Lately I just want to throw out like what I've been doing so people can who are interested can follow me. If you go to ChristopherMichaelSmithMusic.com, I know we've had some people ask like what my website is, ChristopherMichaelSmithMusic.com. I know it's long, it's a lot to type in, but once you have it in your browser, it'll pop up. Just hit CH and it comes right up. But like, I've been doing a lot of stuff, man. I've been auditioning for films, which is really cool. Not to be in them, to write music for them.
Yeah.
And that's been really fun. It's been a challenge that I needed. And it feels really good that people are reaching out to me. I mean, I'm not asking them; they're coming to me. They're direct messaging me.
It's
Hey,
awesome. It's working.
it's
the work
work,
is the
whatever
work
I'm doing is
working.
working, and
Yeah,
they're
man.
happy with what I'm doing. I've yet to hear any follow up from some of the stuff I have
Doesn't
been doing.
matter. This is
but-
the next step.
Right.
It's the next stepping stone.
I'm in the pocket. That's all that matters, and
Yeah.
I'm very happy with how that's going. I would love to do that for a living. I would love to do it professionally, eventually, because no one wants to work their ass off, ass to the bone to, until they're in their 60s or maybe later if you can't retire, right?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well, you want to build a life that you don't need to get away from. That's
Ooh.
what retirement is.
That's well, yeah. I mean, and honestly, composing music you can do. I would do to the day I died.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it's only going to get better, so why wouldn't I? You know.
Yeah. Dude,
So
I tell you what, like you've made comments about we've both been musicians our whole lives, and you've made comments about like I'm more critical of you and your music than the average person because I know what you can put out,
yeah,
and I know that you can do better than some of the things that you've put out.
yeah, for sure.
And I listened to The Arrival,
Yeah,
which is an album that you put out like 5 days ago.
yeah, yeah,
There's not a bad track on that album.
yeah.
The quality and the mastering of that album is incredible.
Thank you.
Every song, the arrangement of the song moves you
Oh,
in a different way. And
Thank
it's
you, man.
fucking, dude, it's excellent.
thank
And
you.
and like I don't want I'm never critical of you just for the sake of being critical of you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be a
yeah.
dick. And you've speculated that I do that
Yeah,
a couple
that's
of
just
times,
defense
but
mechanism.
it's not true. I've never been
Yeah,
I've never been critical of you just for the sake of being critical. It's
Yeah.
always like, dude, we've been musicians our whole lives. You can do more than this.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
phoning it in on this album,
yeah,
or
yeah.
you're phoning it in with this mastering, or whatever.
Right, yeah,
And I never say that. I say specifically what I don't like or whatever.
Right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
And like you put
Actually,
out,
I
you put out
appreciate
a,
it,
you
though.
put out an album like 6 months ago, and
Yeah.
you had me listen to it, and I was like, dude, it sounds like just generic Game of Thrones fucking
Yeah,
whatever.
and it did.
You know?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and the percussion was phoned in and whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I told you all that.
yeah,
And and you weren't happy with me because you were proud of it, but the point that you got to on this album, The Arrival,
yeah.
that's music that I'll look for to listen to,
Right.
just to listen to it, not because I want to be able to tell you what I feel about it.
Right, right.
Like I actually want to listen to it, and
Yeah.
that step, that seems like a minor difference.
No, that's a huge step.
That's a huge
That's
step.
a huge step.
To write a classical album that I'm like, I want to hear this,
Yeah,
is so far beyond where you were 6 months ago. It's
Yeah.
insane.
I appreciate it, man. Honestly, I keep being critical of me because I mean, you and a handful of musician friends that I have that I always like share my stuff with. By the way, I told you my buddy I used to work with that is a musician and has been his whole life. He was in symphonic band. The guy is like a solid musician, has like an entire recording studio at his place.
Yeah,
The dude is solid
yeah,
and is in a really damn good band. I mean, it's not entirely my cup of tea, but it's good. It's good enough that I don't like that genre and I love it.
yeah.
And but anyway, he randomly texted me the other day and it was a video and he was blasting my music and he's like, "This is incredible." He's like, "This sounds amazing."
Awesome.
And I was like, for you to say that, for him to say that, not only that, but like the
You're on the right path.
dude, the what do you call it? The reports on my website,
Yeah,
my daily views are 10 times what they were every day, the same amount,
yeah.
different people.
It's awesome.
So people are liking it, and
Yeah,
some repeats.
It's all going in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's it. By the way, our friend is now dating a. Maybe I shouldn't say all this, but whatever.
Well,
She's okay. Our friend is dating a professor who is a professor of orchestra. For
oh,
lack
that's
of-
cool.
I was like, so remind me to like get you guys in contact with each other.
That'd be cool.
Might be an interesting relationship there.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I've had some orchestrators that have reached out to me that were interested in doing my stuff, but it is a pricey feat. It's a lot of work
yeah.
to notate and orchestrate. It costs
It might
money.
be, yeah, but it might be interesting to have
Yeah.
conversations and be like, hey, I see what you're doing, but actually try this, or like maybe just
Oh,
get an
for
opinion.
sure.
Just get an
Yeah.
opinion, like, hey, can you listen to this and fucking tell
Yeah,
me how you
absolutely.
feel about it?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't cost much equity to fucking listen to an album and be like, it's good or bad,
Yeah.
and here's why.
Yeah. No, that would be really cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get some feedback. I'm on a lot of composer Facebook groups that have like some high end
I feel like we're
people on there.
I feel like we're in a turning in our lives right now. I feel
Yeah,
like
me
we're in
too.
the beginning of a turning, which
I
is
feel it
which is
too.
wild. Like the odd. I've talked about this with being a parent in general, but
Yeah.
there's these seasons in your life where, you know, I had the season of toddlers.
Yeah.
And now I have the season of young kids.
Right.
You know, the elementary school kids and middle, and now I'm turning into this season of like middle school kids into like young adulthood, which is fucking wild to me.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, I'm in this season of like growth, and it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I just took my second to last test in in my school, 5 years of school, I have one more test.
Right. That's wild.
It's crazy, dude. I have one more test and
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I've been in school my entire life and I'm almost done.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm engaged and we're looking at houses. We went to a wedding venue today. We went to a open house at a house today. Like, we're like, man, all these things are fucking, like, it's a turning, man. We're turning a corner and it's going to be a new season of our lives. And
Yeah.
it's wild, man. I feel so different than I did
said
a year
that
ago.
I said that I had this conversation with Mom, similar to this, because I was just like,
I'm on weight loss drugs. I'm gonna be skinny and fucking rich, dude.
and I'm gonna wait and see how you react to them, and
Dick's
then
gonna
I'll,
have an extra
I'm
inch
gonna
when all
jump
that
on it
fat's
too.
gone.
I know.
When all that fucking extra that shit in front of me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in good shape,
It's fucking way longer.
people either girls lied to me a lot, or like there's a significant difference if you're skinny
Yeah.
or in better shape, I should say.
Yeah. Well, cardio is,
Yeah.
part of that too. But without trying to be fucking stupid and
Yeah.
because when we get genuine, all of a sudden we have to fucking, like Logan was saying, when I get genuine, I start fucking
Making
choking
jokes.
or whatever.
Yeah. I
and-
do the
and
same thing.
joking, but no, I mean, to be genuine,
Yeah.
man, like 5 years of work and now it's fucking,
Yeah.
and over 2 years of work into my relationship with Paige, who I fucking adore.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're putting the work in, man. You're doing the thing,
It's crazy.
and it's following
It's
a
crazy how much has
trajectory.
changed
Yeah.
in the last 4 years.
Yeah, but that's good. It's good.
It's wild. Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's going well.
Dude, and this is the thing, I talked to Mom about this, and it's like, man, everyone told me not to make the choices that I made when I was in my early 20s. Like, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And I did all of them. I made all the wrong choices. And everyone has to fucking live their own, timeline. I get that.
Yeah.
But I made all the choices that people warned me, like, dude, you're going to things are going to be a lot harder for you because you're doing these things.
Yeah.
And they were fucking right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in a place to hear it because I wanted freedom. I wanted autonomy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be told what to do. I was just getting tastes of
It's fun. You know what
autonomy,
though?
man.
In your 20s,
and
I would.
suffered
yeah.
for a fucking decade.
That's okay, though,
I
man.
suffered for a decade.
That suffering's healthy.
like no money,
Yeah.
fucking arguments all the time in a bad relationship.
Yeah, but,
not
like-
trying to figure out my boundaries. It was suffering, and I don't.
But
And
that's
I'm
suffering-
not. I'm not saying suffering in a fucking light sense. It was suffering.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
I
sure.
felt like I was gonna die at any minute because of stress.
Yeah.
Because of what I was going through with my.
I mean,
ex
that's not
and
healthy.
and my kids. And,
Right.
And
But
like just trying to keep my head above water.
but
like,
suffering is
robbing Peter
good,
to
man.
pay
If
Paul.
you're like what you take from that is being able to troubleshoot like life.
Yeah.
At a blink of an eye, you know the decision to make to get things done, and dude, that's a quality that most people
There is a
die
muscle.
not having.
There is a muscle that I trained unintentionally by being broke and like having a hard time keeping my head above water as a young adult.
Yeah.
And like just one example, which this is like a money thing, but like we did something, and when we had our business, we had a van full of shit we needed to throw away, and you're like, yeah, I moved and fucking whatever, and but there's a free dump at this city, and I was like, did you change your license yet? No. Okay, then go there and say that you still live at that house, and then you have a free dump you could use.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
and you're
I
like,
do
fuck,
remember.
I don't remember. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are like the muscle that where
Yeah.
where most people be like, oh, I guess I'll just wait until I can pay to do this.
Right.
My muscle is like, how can I like fucking outsmart the system here?
Yeah.
Same thing with like, when I smoke cigarettes, and like I've told that story before, it's like when I smoke cigarettes and I needed gas, I would start the pump, run inside, buy my cigarettes before the gas pump finished pumping so that I could get both with my
Right.
last $9.
Right.
And that's stupid to do that, because it costs you fucking $40 in fees to have.
Yeah, but that's like a neurological pathway that's healthy.
But like, yeah, you got to find these
if you
like
use
MacGyver
that for if you use-
versions of
yeah,
solutions.
if you use those pathways for things that are
Healthy.
healthy and better for you, and keep you on the right path, and keep you going in the right direction, and
Yeah.
whatever, keep things moving. I mean, you got 3 kids to worry about. You got to have that.
You got to
muscle.
have creative solutions.
You got to have that muscle, dude. You got to be like, there's no food in the fridge. I got to make dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I dated someone with 2 kids, and
You've seen me throw shit together
Yeah.
when I had no food, and you're
Yeah.
like, this is good.
yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
But
this
like-
is shit I had.
I dated someone with 2 kids before, and I started developing that just from like, I gotta, if I'm gonna cook, I gotta cook for them too, right?
Yeah.
And so I started developing that, and I remember like being like introspective about it and be like, dude, this is like, I'm like starting to remind me of my brother now, like there's no, like I didn't go grocery shopping. I just got off of work. Like I don't have time. We got to make dinner and get the kids to bed, figure it out.
Yeah.
And I would make them something. They'd be like, this is the best thing I ever ate,
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, there's something about that muscle that's like, it's not just for that purpose. It's like, that is a skill that stretches beyond.
Yeah, it's God, without sounding like a dick, but like isn't there is it the military or something where they have this like motto about like being able to adapt and move on? Like not keep calm and carry on or whatever, but like it's like you need to be like adaptable. Like you need to be able to adapt to your situation and not dwell in what the way you would like it to be, but like, hey man, you got like nothing in the fridge and you got like the other day we ate, I had leftover ground beef from like tacos and I had canned vegetables. I'm like, what the fuck can I do to feed everybody real quick?
Right.
So I microwaved the leftover beef, which was like, there was a cup of beef. And then we had black beans, corn, and riced cauliflower. I threw that all together and chopped up a fucking onion and chopped up a pepper that I had.
Right.
And my fridge was empty after I cooked, but when we ate, you were like, dude, this is really good. What is this? I'm like, this is bullshit that I threw together.
Right.
But yeah, you got to be able to adapt to your situation, man. And like being broke will really make you look for creative solutions to everything, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Not that I'm broke now, but
I've always made good money, but I never cared about money, so I never really like. I'm not someone that put a ton of money away. Never have. I definitely want to now. Getting older, obviously, I would like to retire at some point, but I'm also someone that lives. Like I was always like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna buy this thing. I'm gonna get into mountain biking this year. I'm gonna get into. And honestly, I've had a great life. If I died tomorrow, not to get morbid, but if I died tomorrow, regardless of like annoying jobs and annoying people I've been with or annoying relationships, I shouldn't blame them, but just annoying things in my life, I've had a fantastic life.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of the life I've had, even though going back to like, I was saying that I was talking about like turning a leaf or whatever the saying is with Mom. And I told her, I'm like, I feel this trajectory that like nothing matters because wherever I'm heading right now is going to be like this place of bliss and peacefulness and exactly what I want in my life.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what do you mean? Whatever. And I was like, I just know that this is all going to pan out. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Honestly, I've been avoiding kind of talking to girls and dating and shit because I'm so hyper focused on my future right now that like I could care less.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting laid. I don't want to. I don't want to be distracted.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that like we've talked about this a few different times privately, but I remember you saying like, I don't get it. And I'm like, you need to get yourself into a place where you're available to the people that you want to date. And you're in this place where you don't want to be. Yeah. So you're going to attract girls that you don't want.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're in the life that you fit into. But now that you're creating a life that you do want, then you're going to end up finding girls that you do want because they're attracted to this life that you have. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember, dude, I called you the night that the night or maybe the day after I met Paige, and I was like, dude, this girl's different. Yeah, like I remember I called you and I was like, dude, she's got this like, she's surrounded by this like community that adores her. Yeah. And I've never met a girl who has that. Yeah. And like I was like, oh, this is different. Like, if she has a fucking organism, this living organism of people that. This community that just like fucking adores her and would kill for her. Right. Like there's something about her.
Yeah, she's learned how to surround herself with healthy people. We never. Yeah. I don't know about you personally, but I would say that if I could speak for our family, we never really learned that. Mm-hmm. And I think it even extends beyond us. I think our parents as well.
Everyone in our family is emotionally impaired.
Yeah.
And blame.
No, I don't want to say that that's the thing. I think that
I think it is because we don't have boundaries. So we get surrounded by people that we don't want around us, and then we take on the stress.
Yeah. Of trying to we're also really compassionate and empathetic people. Yeah. So like, I've met people that had serious problems or drug addictions or we're just not to do a tribute, not
in our family, but
no, yeah, friends, acquaintances. But people that have maybe are severely broken and have had like really, really messed up lives, that just need a lot of help and therapy and whatever. And I spent a lot of years being there for those types of people and being the people that they call. And I don't want to do it anymore. I did it for 30 years.
Dude,
I'm over it.
My ex had a really hard life.
Yeah.
And I gave her outs, and like my ex that I dated for 10 years.
Yeah.
I gave her grace on a lot of boundaries that I shouldn't have because I was being empathetic. Like, she was adopted. Her mom died when her adoptive mother. Dude, she was adopted and returned to an orphanage because the parents lost their jobs. Then she got adopted again.
Yeah.
Then she only had 15 years with the mother that the family that she grew up in, and then that mother died when she was 17.
Right.
She had all kinds of problems, like there was so much shit that she went through. So like I gave her grace on things that I shouldn't have because I was like, well, she's had like a fucked up life, and she'll grow. We'll work through it. Everything will be better. She'll grow out of these bad behaviors or whatever. And we just were not. Me and her were not cut out for each other. It was just toxic from the beginning, from the very beginning, but that circles back to like not having boundaries where we should is like I forgave her for things that shouldn't have been forgiven. Yeah. And then I mean, thank God I did. I wouldn't change anything because it would change my kids and would change where I'm at. If I like there's a Billy String song where like in the song he's like, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't be here anyway. Yeah. Or he says anyhow. If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't be here anyhow. So like he's talking about like thinking about the past and like how different it was, and like he like resents the past, and then he thinks about his life and he's like, dude, if I changed one thing in my past, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Yeah. And it's like, God, if I didn't forgive her, where would I be? I wouldn't be with Paige. Right. Imagine like how different my life would be. Like, God, it makes me feel sick that like one choice, one date different, one fucking if like X, Y, and Z didn't happen, it wouldn't have led me to Paige. Yeah. Like if my ex didn't do the toxic shit of backing my phone up to her phone and then like ruining a relationship that I was in with the first girlfriend I had after my ex broke up. Yeah. If she didn't get all bitter, start a bunch of shit, report my phone stolen, back my phone up to her phone, and then read all the text messages to the girl I was dating, and then fuck that up, right, I wouldn't be with Paige. And like, my God, Paige is like fucking. I couldn't design someone better for me. Right. So like, man, like when I think back to all those moments that like in the moment I was like, what the fuck, like why does everything have to be so hard? It's like, dude, but those led me here. Yeah, yeah. That suffering led me to Paige, right, which is crazy. Yeah. Makes me feel sick that like one degree different and I would have missed the island. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's like,
dude, I have this deep feeling, and I always have, because I'm a kind of a dark person, and I'm a happy-go-lucky person in a lot of ways, but I definitely have this darkness. But that darkness is reality. Like, the only real true event that ever happens in our lives is our death, and everything else is like this sort of like manufactured experience. And I feel like, but that being said, I really truly feel deeply, like spiritually, in every cell of my body, that the universe is looking out for every one of us in some weird way. Even people with terrible lives, there's a light on the end, on the other side, and but can it go down a dark path and end terribly? Absolutely. But the universe is always telling you. The universe is always holding your hand.
And a lot of people's stories do end tragically, man.
Yeah. No, I do. I know that. I'm not saying that that's not a thing. What I'm saying is that the universe is always whispering in our ear, like, what we need to do.
What's the right direction? What's the next move?
Yeah. Like people that, there's definitely some.
I mean, that's the thing about divine intervention, right? Is like, man, I didn't like what I was saying is like, I didn't like what happened in the moment, but man, if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Yeah. And thank God those horrible things happened, because it gave me my kids and it gave me Paige, man, and I wouldn't change any of that.
I mean,
I wouldn't change 10 years of suffering because
I'm a man, dude. I'm a man of science, and I have been my entire life. I strongly believe in God, but not like some dude in a throne and with a beard, and and I just think that there's it's some higher level form of consciousness.
It's almost becoming this hippie, man, where you're like, we're made out of stardust. Yeah. Like, how can you argue with that?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, that's scientific. I mean, in a weird way.
Scientifically
it's
real,
yeah.
but-
Well, that's the thing is like this is what also we talked about this in another podcast. What led me back to God and not even religion, but spirituality in sort of more of a Christian or Abrahamic religion organized way was just and I'm not someone that goes to like church regularly. I'm not someone who prays all the time. It's not that. It's just a knowing. Like you start realizing when you stop shutting yourself off from things that you don't align with, and you just you submit. When you submit to the universe and go, this is what it is. We are gonna die. Life sucks in a lot of ways, and you just submit to that, and you just kind of like really live in that darkness for a while. There's something that pours out into you. And there's no other word than God for that, because it's when I know that like people who are atheists hate the idea of God or hate the word God. But as an atheist who's now just way more in tune and just feels more spiritual in a lot of ways, I like the word more than ever because it means so much more than what I think even people who believe in God
Pete, do you ever see the way that Pete Holmes describes this? Or you know what? I think I actually referenced somebody else. But God, someone said, I think he references someone else's quote, which was, God is the name for the blanket that we lay over the unknown to give it shape.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's, so it's what defines the undefinable.
Yeah.
Which I like that. I like that explanation. And as I'm getting older, I don't know that I believe.
Yeah.
But as I'm getting older, I think I am surrendering to the unknown.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think belief is not healthy anyway.
Mm.
You should go at everything with a scientific mind. You shouldn't. Sure. I don't think you should believe in God until it something touches you and makes you feel like, all right, there's something going on here. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to let some dude.
Yeah, sure, man.
I'm not going to let some dude with power and money tell me what it is. Right. I'm not going to let some guy who's manipulative or some culture or some whatever.
Yeah, but then you have this life of skepticism. Like I had this life of skepticism and anger and resentment of all these institutions, and then just something as silly as like my 5-year-old putting on my boots to go take the trash out, and I'm just like, dude, I got to surrender.
Yeah. I
got to stop trying to be controlling because I can't control shit. I just need to surrender to like what life actually is.
That's what religion teaches in general. And I mean, look, there's a lot I don't like about it. A lot that we should all not like about it. There's real problems.
Yeah.
But
that's the human.
But the biggest the only reason that God is represented as the father figure in all these religions is because religion is the act of submitting to the universe.
Yeah.
Now, is there dark, heinous shit that comes out of some of that? Some extreme, yes, absolutely. But that's human nature, man.
Yeah.
Human nature is, if you take a bunch of broken people and put them together and you give them power, what the fuck else do you expect to happen? It has nothing to do with the religion itself. It has nothing to do with belief systems. I know Bill Maher, like, he was well known to like really speak against Islam, right? And I understand why. I understand terrorism is a big deal. It's also the biggest religion in the world per capita. Mm. It is the biggest religion in the world. Yeah, why isn't the entire fucking world on fire then?
Yeah, there's a billion Islams.
So it's like
Muslims, right? Yeah. But I mean, you and me had this conversation in your old house when you were still married. I remember having this conversation in your kitchen with a couple of people that disagreed with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, if a billion people thought the way you think they think, there would not be anyone else. What are you saying?
Yeah.
A billion,
Yeah.
But whatever. On a brighter note.
Yeah.
On a brighter note.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of getting into diving into the nihilism, man, we got something to celebrate. My buddy's having a kid, man, and that's
it's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna go celebrate. We got somewhere to be, man. So we got to wrap this up.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's wrap it up, dude.
Follow us. Follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow us on Spotify, Audible, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely.
YouTubes, we got on YouTube. We have on YouTubes
on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes, you got fucking the full length video. So You know, we got the full length episodes on YouTube's released every week.
Yeah.
Shorts we put out every day.
Yeah.
Episodes live on whatever streaming platform you listen to. And,
Absolutely.
fuck yeah, dude. The first episode with the guests went well, and we're going to keep doing guest spots, as well as like our weekly, you know, typical Good Times Noodle Salad episodes. So I feel good about this, man. It's going good.
It's
and,
been fun.
This
It's
is
been really fun.
episode 16. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Also, everyone out there, like, if you're not familiar with the stuff I do and you like music, you know, add me on everything. I'm not shy. Add me on Facebook. Add me on Instagram.
CM Smith Music. Or...
CMC. Yeah. I'm at like c.m.smith music or something on Instagram.
They'll find you. We're everything's
I'm easy to
fucking
find.
tagged on
Everything's
Good
tied
Times
together.
Noodle Salad.
Yeah, everything's tied together. You'll find me.
Fuck yeah.
Check out my stuff and keep watching the podcast. It's gonna only get better.
Yeah.
We got a lot of guests lined up for probably, I would say like over the next 6 months to a year, we have potentials, and that's a big deal. You know,
Exciting
so
stuff.
there's gonna be a lot of cool
Everything
people
from
on.
farmers to pro skateboarders, man. We got
we got
random
farmers,
people
pro
coming.
skateboarders, actors,
musicians,
you name it. So I mean,
a lot of interesting stuff happening in Michigan, man. I think it gets overlooked.
it does get overlooked in Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys,
Peace.
take care.
But a lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.